Patrick, Mike, this is an interview 13 or 14 years in the making, man. It's years in the making, and it's finally happened. How's it going, man?
I can't believe it's finally happening, guys. But it's really happening.
It is. I mean, we just had a good friend of yours, Todd Marinovich, on the show recently.
Oh my God! You got to be kidding me! You had Todd on the show?
We've had Todd on, your buddy Ed Asner. We've had on, and Jesse Christopher. It's just only fitting, man. This had to happen.
Oh my God! It is totally fitting. It is long overdue, and it's happening. And I'm kind of nervous, but it's really happening. How is Todd? I haven't seen him in so long.
Todd's doing great. He was just at a USC game this year. He actually played football, believe it or not, at age 48 a year ago in a semi-pro league, but he's doing good. I think he and his wife got divorced and stuff, but he's doing pretty good, man. It's just good to hear.
Todd's a champion, man. He really is. He's a great guy. Yeah.
That's very true. Patrick, this is just so, I'll tell you what, you talk about being nervous. We're the nervous ones because this is hilarious. Believe it or not, we've been talking about this. For Noah and I, you are our first celebrity Facebook friend. You like had a Facebook back whenever it first started, along when you had to have like a college email. We were in college at the time.
Did I?
Isn't that crazy? What a connection! I was the guy that stole Kelly away from Zack has a Facebook, and we've got it.
No, yeah, it is weird. I don't even want to know how long ago it was that I filmed those episodes, but once social media hit with Twitter and everything, it's the most. Not a week goes by that somebody, or a group of people don't express how much they hate me.
It's been 28 years, not to date anyone. 28 years, in fact.
Oh,
is it? You said in the True Hollywood Story that like you said, not a day goes by. I mean, as time goes on, of all the things you've done, is it still what you are most recognized?
Well, it's not that it's the most recognized. It's the most. People are the most passionate about hating me for what I did to poor Kelly and Zack. So they are obviously a beloved couple, pop culture couple. And I didn't know at the time, but I was doing a really bad thing, But can you blame me? I mean, Kelly Kapowski is a beautiful girl. So,
there's absolutely no blame that can be thrown your way. And we look back on it now, we laugh. But was there ever a time that you regretted getting the role of Jeff Hunter with as crazy as Saved by the Bell fans got with you breaking up Zack and Kelly?
No, I mean, I guess the only time it was really when, social media hit that people started finding me and expressing how much that they hated poor Jeff. So, at that time, I thought it was funny, but then some people are really passionate about what a scumbag I was back there in the 90s. But I guess I deserve it, I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. We were at the dance. I did my best at the max to seduce her, and then I guess it was a club, right? Didn't the kids take IDs and came in the club? Yeah.
Well,
but
it's funny because.
But it's really. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Patrick. I just initially, the character of Jet. The writers, they kind of made it almost so try to force the audience to kind of accept this character because you meet the rest of the friends. They all kind of accept you. You're talking with Slater. And you guys it's kind of like, hey, this guy's going to be cool. And was it at that point, did you feel like you were going to be more a part of the show? And it was like just you were then in 3 episodes and they're like, oh, let's make him a jerk and get him out of here. I mean, what was kind of your take on?
No, from what I remember, it was always 3 episodes. I knew what my job was, which was to come in and be, and to kind of put this riff in the relationship. But it was always that. But, the funny thing was at the time I lived in an apartment complex with Mario Lopez.
Wow.
So Mario and I were already good buddies. And so we all lived in this place called Park Park Point is the name of the apartment complex in Burbank, which is next to NBC.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the kids, a lot of the people, like on Days of Our Lives and Saved by the Bell, and I think California Dreams was another show. And there was, and Ryan Seacrest lived there when he was starting out, and Tara Reid lived there, and so it was, it was funny, but so Mario and I were buddies, and then I got this gig, and I, at the time I didn't know how popular Saved by the Bell was, mm-hmm. and it wasn't until I got on set, because it was a live audience, and the audience was really bummed out. And I was like, well, this is, this show, it certainly had a following then, but wow, to be talking about this all these years later, and I hear that they're doing some form of a reboot or something mm-hmm. like that. I mean, you had no idea, but the fan base is all there, so it was a cool thing to be part of, and it's funny when I get the Twitter "I hate you" messages, you scumbag. I mean, I mean, and it gets worse than that, but they're really, I just think it's hilarious.
Well, Patrick,
hilarious. And I also, go ahead.
Well, I mean, we had talked about Todd Marinovich here, and you're a USC guy, and this may have been the worst part of the show for you. They wind up putting you in a UCLA sweatshirt. Did you ever get to ask them if they could switch that to a USC sweater? Isn't that got some sort of sacrilege for you to wear that UCLA?
It was absolutely sacrilegious, and I did ask them, and it was rough. And when the shows aired, my teammates from SC, I mean, I got a lot of hell for that.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, and I caught. I think it was the first episode or something like that, not long ago. I was just flipping through the channels, and I'm like, oh yeah, I wore a UCLA sweatshirt. I forgot. And then the other striking thing is, what is wrong with my voice? my voice is like 3 octaves higher back then, so and I don't know. It was embarrassing in front of all my teammates having to wear a UCLA sweatshirt for sure. And I did ask them, and I don't know why they made me wear a Bruin sweatshirt, but that was really bad. That really sucked.
That's funny. Because I was like, there had to be some concessions made or something. I think in the Attic episode, Zack was pretending to go to USC, and the girl he was dating went to USC. So they were probably maybe trying to split it up, so not every single person on the show was going to USC at the same time. But Patrick, with that, just my thoughts. Not that we sit here and overanalyze these things or anything. Not that we sit here and overanalyze things like that. But I mean,
right,
just came to mind now. But
yeah, well, that makes sense because I did ask them. I'm like, I played ball at SC, and I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this. Is there any way? And they're just like, nope. That's the way I think it's Peter Engel, right? He's
the
producer. He's like, no, Patrick.
What was your relationship like with Peter? Because you hear a lot of we've interviewed a lot of cast members from the show that came in to do an episode or 2 or 3 like yourself. What was that process like coming in? You talked about you already knew Mario, but coming in and meeting some of the writers, Bennett Tramer, and then some of the cast members. What was kind of that whole experience like for you?
I remember, it was, Mark, everybody was just really super friendly, it was chill. And I know, but I remember when Peter Engel would walk around, it would be like, shh, and Mario would always do this impersonation of him. And I remember it went something like this. Is there something I should know about? That's Mario would impersonate Peter Engel. So, he probably had his work cut out for him, keeping all the kids, making sure everybody was behaving. But also with Tiffany, I remember Tiffany was probably 3-4 years younger than me. And I remember her as a model. So Tiffany and I were in like Tiger Beat or Teen Magazine modeling before Saved by the Bell, when she was like 14 or something like that. I don't even know how old she was when we did the show. I must have been right out of USC, probably like 22, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was probably still underage. Put it that way.
Probably. I mean, I kind of wanted to ask you a little bit about working with all of the cast and some of the crew. And you mentioned it that you and Mario were living in the same apartment complex. And did you hit him up, kind of, hey, inform me of what can I expect here, and tell me about the cast? Am I going to enjoy being on set, working with all you guys? And of course, you like Mario there, but just working with the cast. Of course, they were kids. They were probably couldn't hang out with them much offset as they were taking classes.
Oh, you know what? No, wait a minute. You know what? I'm wrong. So I'm gonna go back. Mario and I, actually, now that I'm thinking of the timeline, no, Mario and I met on the show, and then we both moved into Park Pointless. That's
Gotcha.
right, because right after I did Saved by the Bell, not soon after, I got on Days of Our Lives, which was also on at NBC. So that's right. So no, we met on the show, we became friends, and then we just coincidentally happened to move in the same apartment complex. That's what happened.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
So, yeah. And every once in a while, over the years, Ryan Seacrest will mention Park Pointless and the fact that we all lived there in this place. And it got decimated at the 94 earthquake hit. And we all lived in that place. And it was made of, just drywall and basically cardboard. And all of our furniture was from IKEA. So we had that really big 94 earthquake, and it just decimated Park Pointless. There's lots of like would-be actors that went back to the Midwest after that earthquake because it broke all of our stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
That great times. I tell you, it's taken 28 years, but we've collectively forgiven you and your character Jeff for kind of what happened. A very dramatic moment in history.
Have you forgiven me?
Well, we're talking right now, which means that we've made some sort of concession to.
This is the closing part of the process for us.
Yeah, this is the therapy. This is the therapy.
Oh, right. So it's a lot of closure for you, and me too. So thanks, guys.
Well, it's funny because you've done many other things, Patrick. And it's funny because we're kind of jumping around here, but that's just kind of how we do it. I'm a huge fan. I love the movie American Satan. We're bringing things up to recent now. We're bringing things up to 2017. American Satan was awesome. You were in it. Denise Richards, of course, Malcolm McDowell, Andy Biersack. You played an insane rock that was getting had by Andy Biersack as their band started to take off and yours was being pushed to the wayside. That was awesome.
Right.
Great movie. Great cast, man. And talk about that movie. Obviously, you and Denise Richards do a lot of projects together. A lot of great chemistry there. You guys have been friends for a long time. Let's talk about that movie and what that was like.
On American Satan, it was, I think the main band, I think we were like stealing their gear or something like that. And they threw a guitar through the windshield of our Winnebago, which pissed us off. And Elizabeth or Denise, I forget what Denise did in that movie, but Denise and I work on a lot of, like we just had a Christmas movie that just came out, and then I got popped on Real, what do they call it? Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I got popped on. I went to Denise's wedding, and I got one of the housewives busted me. Yeah, it was kind of hilarious. So, and that Lisa and I played brother and sister on Days of Our Lives. That was NBC, and that was during the time that I lived in the place with Mario. So it was a fun chapter of the book, as they say.
Well, Patrick, going back to the very beginning here, you had done a few roles on some TV shows, starting with Who's the Boss, and would go on to do some TV movies. But what was it like getting a little more stability when you got the roles like Austin on Days of Our Lives and Richard Hart on Melrose Place?
Stability is always a really good thing in the acting business. So it was cool, and we lived in that place. So I would literally, it was just, I don't know, maybe a half mile away from the from NBC. So I would just fall out of bed, fall into that studio, and back in those days, they would keep us there anywhere from like 8 hours to 16 hours a day, wow. And but it was cool, especially being a young actor and kind of learning the craft. So, I was acting all day, and at night I was going to acting school, and it was good times. The days of Park Pointless. Did you guys ever? You guys have had Mario on the show, yeah?
We haven't as of yet. We about had it to scheduled, but then the reboot started, and then he made those comments in the news or whatever, and we couldn't get it scheduled, so we're still trying.
Oh, right on. Well, when you do, you have to tell them that you had me on and talk about our days at Park Pointless.
I wish I was a fly on the wall there, if nowhere else. That sounds amazing. That would have been good times. Patrick, we're all over the place, but you released an album last year with your musical partner. It was called Muldoon and Ives, and it's tremendous. I got it pulled up on Spotify right now. You also play together in a band called the Sleeping Masses. Just kind of talk to us about the part of your career. How important is it for you to be able to flex that creative muscle in that way, and kind of what else can we expect from you going forward in that regard?
Songwriting is probably my favorite thing to do in life, and I've done it, since I was a teenager, and it was, you love something when, if I got a check from acting, I would go and take that check and give it to somebody who owned a music studio back in the 90s and hash it out. And, luckily a lot of those tapes aren't out there. Sleeping Masses was an early band, but, over the years, I've gotten better at singing. I don't know. That Saved by the Bell clip really scared me, because I'm like, how high was my voice? But so the Sleeping Masses, we did a couple of records, in like around 2005, 6, 7, right in there. And my longtime songwriting buddy is Neil Ives, who's obviously the new band is called Muldoon and Ives, which is just pretty much Sleeping Masses. We wrote all the songs on those records, and so some of the songs are in films and television. We had one song called "The Woman Is the Way" that was in the Jessica Biel movie called Powder Blue, and there's a video on YouTube of that. And it's my day job is producing and acting, but songwriting is probably my first love. So every once in a while, you'll see an EP out. So, and another one is coming up probably in the next couple of months. So, but that's what it is. It's pretty much a songwriting team, Neil and myself.
If we wanted to send people, I'm on Spotify right now. Of course, it's available on all digital platforms, but what's the best way for people to kind of get in contact with that and then to find you? I know you have a Facebook page and a Twitter, of course, but is it just probably best just to say go to Spotify or iTunes and search it that way?
Yeah, go to Spotify and iTunes, and then we have Muldoon and I has a Facebook page. You can leave messages there, which answer personally, and or DM on Twitter. We have Muldoon and I's Twitter page as well. And and that's how you can get in contact with us. But it's on all the streaming platforms. So it's a rocking good time, guys. You know what I mean?
It is. Absolutely. We look forward to the new EP here coming in a few months that you said, but maybe the most important question that we have for you is your thoughts on this past USC football season. They go 8-5. They lose JT Daniels early in the season. Keaton Slovis comes on, performs really well. You guys get an impressive win against Utah. So your thoughts on the season, and do you believe Clay Helton is the right guy moving forward?
Well, look, it seems like, look, I'm on a text message chain with a bunch of my teammates, from back in the day. And, for football, in college, you have Notre Dame and you have USC as far as like the real powerhouse football traditions, outside of the SEC, of course. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, Lynn Swann signed Clay Helton. Clay Helton seems like a really nice guy, but it doesn't seem like things are clicking. And it with our recruiting class, it certainly seems to be suffering. I think it was something like we're like 84th, as far as our recruiting class goes, and that's just not SC. And it just seems like the brass over there, the new president of the school, they're just not showing much love to the football program. And, that'd be like not showing too much love to Notre Dame's football program.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
The school is not, yes, I understand it's not just a football school, but certainly, the backbone of the school is the football program. It's a great sense of pride, and tradition. So I think when Lynn Swann came in there and signed the coach to a long-term contract instead of keeping it one season at a time to see how it goes, that we're kind of in a hole. So look, my hopes are that Helton can turn it around, but he's also kind of had his time in the sun there, and I think we had an opportunity to maybe get a bigger gun in there, and I think we might have missed that opportunity. So, and it gets tied up in the politics of who's the athletic director, and USC has had these problems with all these scandals and everything, and that's gotten in the way a lot, I think, taking precedent over the football program problems, or the real problems that SC has had with all this scandal. So it's a rough time for SC, but I know we'll pull out of it and hopefully get back to doing what we should be doing, which is winning national championships instead of all this trash.
Yeah. Absolutely. Patrick, before we culminate this with the scene that I'm going to set up for you and Noah, because I couldn't do it justice, I got to ask you though, you've got some films here in post-production. I know we talked a little bit about Bernie the Dolphin 2 and My Adventures with Santa, which have been released and are tremendous, really cute little, family films, and you do such a good job. But you've got some stuff in post-production now. Arkansas, Kids Can, Painting Christmas. You just love the Christmas stuff, and the Comeback Trail. Tell us what you got in post-production.
Well,
what we can expect to see here.
So, on the side of doing all these things over the past decade, you kind of, when you've been in the business long enough, you learn how to produce films just by osmosis, and you learn script content and, 30 years of acting classes. And that kind of all goes into my old man job, which is producing. So you learn film finance, you learn, how to fix and how to choose and how to write scripts. So the acting stuff comes and goes, but the producing stuff are the things that I choose, because you give up years of your life to bring these things. It's almost like being a midwife. But by the grace of God, somehow I got involved in with my producing partner. His name's Patrick Muldoon. over the past year. So we completed Arkansas, which is with John Malkovich,
Oh, wow.
Liam Hemsworth, and Vince Vaughn. So we did that, and we just found out that we got into South by Southwest, so it's going to premiere at that festival this year. And I got to spend 3 months on set with Robert De Niro and Tommy Lee Jones and Morgan Freeman producing The Comeback Trail. And so talk about an acting school, just to sit back and watch the best of the best, go to work every day. And it was, I got to say, being an actor for 30 years, to get to just sit on the sidelines and watch Robert De Niro go at it was, you just have to pinch yourself. And the crazy thing about it, those guys in their 70s, you would think maybe they would phone it in, but it's or get lazy after all this time, but it's not. You watch, those guys are masters for a reason. It's every take is trying to make it better, total focus, no egos. It's almost like watching kids play and try and be better and better each take, which was a big lesson, that there's no finish line, in acting or, any art, but they're still growing, and that was the big lesson of 2019. The treat of it was being able to, watch my idols go to work every day. And I was in The Comeback Trail. I have a couple of scenes. I don't have dialogue with De Niro, but I have scenes with Zack, who was amazing. He's in the movie as well. But he was I was in the same scene with De Niro, and he's talking about me, and his character actually hates me as well. So I don't know. It seemed to do well.
There's a running theme here, Patrick.
It's a running theme, things. Probably the things that I'm most widely known for when people can't stand me. It's like Starship Troopers. I stole the girl from Casper Van Dien, stole Denise. So it's a running theme.
Absolutely. I mean, tell you what, it's been such a pleasure. And as we come out here, I've got to set this up because as it comes down to it, Patrick, we've got to have someone to play Kelly for this famous scene from 1991. Yeah. And Noah's the better looking of the two of us. So I'm going to let him take this. And of course, you are Jeff Hunter, the evil scum, Jeff Hunter. We're still not over it.
That's cool.
We're still not over it. Let's just be honest. So we've got to do this because I think the world needs this. Maybe this will be the therapy that the rest of the world needs. So I'm setting it up where this is the attic. This is the one of the final scenes of Saved by the Bell season 3, the attic, and you're just getting caught cheating on Kelly with some other hot skank, and we're gonna just take it from there.
Right.
Scene. If you're ready, Patrick, I'll go ahead and we'll call scene here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's jump in.
Scene.
Hi, can I cut in?
Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Wow, what are you doing here?
I'd ask you the same thing, but I already know the answer. Why, Jeff?
I mean, what? Come on, Kelly. I mean, it's not like we're going steady or anything. I mean, I do like you a lot, and you're very attractive and very hot, and you're much hotter than the girl I'm dancing with. But
I broke up with a great guy for you.
Well, Kelly, you're very special to me, but I guess I'm just not ready for a commitment right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I fell for a dishonest jerk like you. Goodbye.
No, come back. Kelly, don't leave. If you leave, people are going to hate me for 28 years. Please come back.
That's really the only thing that could have possibly saved it. And you've just done it. You've exorcised the demons. It's happened.
Yeah. Cool.
Wow.
I hope we've all had some closure here today.
Well, we do, and I feel like the same situation played out in real life later on with with Denise and Lisa later on in life. It was like a life imitating art.
Yeah. I don't know.
Patrick, I had to.
I guess I haven't. What's that?
I had to bring that one up.
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, it's a running theme in my life. I'm still working on it. Maybe it's, I've never been married, so I don't know. Maybe
neither have we, so it's all good here.
We'll I'll tell you what, Patrick. This is a true statement. Every time we're out in LA, we come out there all the time. We usually see our buddy Bo Jesse Christopher from Point Break, but we gotta schedule something with you. All three of us will go out to the attic together and we'll make a night of it. See what we can pull in.
Yeah. I look forward to that. We'll do lunch earlier at the Max, and then we'll do that. So yes. I'm down,
dude.
I'm down. You guys are where? You guys are in Kansas City?
Yep. Yeah. We're in Kansas City, just trying to get our team to a Super Bowl this weekend, my man, for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that's all we're doing here.
Hey, I'm pulling for you.
Thank you.
For you.
It's going to be awesome. Patrick, dude, in all seriousness, we've had a lot of fun. We've joked around a lot. In all seriousness, this means the world to us because, it's crazy to think shows like this. It's a part of our lives. It's a part of our childhoods. And to be able to come on and do this with you, of all people, you were like a unicorn for us. And we were able to make it happen. And we cannot thank you enough.
No one, Clint. You guys are the best. And you made my day. It was this was a blast.
Dude, it made ours, my friend. It was an honor.
Well, seriously, when we come out to LA, let's get together next time we come out to LA. We'll bring Todd and we'll talk some USC football and we'll get together. And you know what? One of my favorite places to go, the Rainbow or the world famous Whiskey A Go Go. I go to shows there all the time. I'll be there for Motley Crue in September, man. Are you going to be there?
Hey, I was at the Rainbow the night before last.
It's my favorite. It's a church. It's the Church of Rock and Roll, and Motley Crue at SoFi Stadium in September. I'll be there for that.
Oh, wait a minute. So that's Motley Crue and Poison and
Def
someone
Leppard.
Else, right?
Def Leppard, yeah.
I will be there as well. So you guys got my number. You hit me up when you come out here, and the Whiskey and the Rainbow. I'm down for all of that, and. If we're going to that concert the next time, the same night, I will see you there.
Patrick, dude, have a great weekend. Thanks so much, man. We'll catch up again soon, and best of luck and everything, man. You're the best.
Get down, guys. Great talking to you.
You bet. Thanks a lot.